Winners don't use drugs.
Hello.
Winners
Live.
don't use Nuke.
No, they don't use Nuke. Nuke is very dangerous. Hello. Darius, Carol.
Hello.
Darius Nuke Chugger and Carol Snooky.
Hi.
Thank you for joining me, Nukie McNukerton. So we could talk about the scourge that plagued Detroit.
Coincidentally,
Darius,
at the same
Darius,
time as the crack epidemic.
Darius, did you know about this Nuke scourge that was going on in Detroit?
I remember the crack, but no, guess I remember the nuke.
Everyone in inner cities remembers the crack.
Oh yeah. No, I was 3 when this movie came out, so I was very aware of the crack already. But
aware.
But hey, it's like Carol said, you don't smoke, and like you said, you don't smoke it. So it doesn't mess with your teeth. You don't. You just you don't need to find a vein. You just kind of inject it into your arm from a little tiny Kool-Aid pack.
How you doing, Manticore?
What's up, Manticore?
Thank you.
We're not doing crack.
Manticore.
We're not doing crack. We're doing Nuke.
Oh yeah, right. Nuke.
Robocop 2, everybody.
Hello, citizens. Hey, Gargoylosaurus, Megalosaurus, and Coloradosaurus are you? I feel like I know that.
Yeah, when Darius mentioned this, I was like, "Holy shit, that is yes, Ivan Kirshner."
Yeah, which I didn't remember until I looked it up. Yes,
insane.
It sounds like a match, like a dream team, right? Irvin Kershner directing and Frank Miller writing.
Frank Miller co-writing. I can't remember who the. All right, I'll bring it up.
What could possibly go wrong?
I don't know. A few things.
And the 2 original lead actors returning, right?
Yeah.
Peter Weller
we have quite a few actors returning. Peter Weller, of course, returns. I don't think a part 2 would have worked if Peter Weller didn't return.
No. I mean, it's got like a 4.8 out of 10 on part 2 does on IMDb, but part 3 has like 3.1 out of 10.
Part 3. Ooh. Part 3. Maybe one day down the line, we'll do part 3.
Oh man.
All right.
You're gonna drive me to drink again.
No, don't say that.
No.
Don't say that.
It won't make it better.
No, that'll distract you from your Nuke addiction. You gotta do Nuke, bro.
I'm all nuked up and ready to go.
You gotta do Nuke. So Darius, you said you've seen this probably once before.
Yeah, over 20 years ago. Yeah, between maybe 25 years ago. It was a very, very long time ago I saw this, and I didn't remember most of it. I watched Robocop again, I don't know, late last year. But I hadn't seen part 2 again in a long time. So some stuff I remembered, like when they pick them up with the magnet and they take them apart, which is brutal. And especially when you're a kid watching it, it's super brutal. Other stuff I didn't remember, like when they were playing chicken.
And Carol, you said you've seen the first one, right? But
yes,
never saw this one. Saw this one.
I barely got to see this one. But yeah.
All right, yeah, but what you got to see, you know the bullet points.
Yeah, I mean it was just choppy, so it wasn't actually. It was like just pictures. I got to watch pictures.
All right, bullet points, because there's a lot of bullets fucking flying around in this fucking movie.
There was a lot of bullets.
Oh yeah, and what you think is going to be a gimmick at the beginning, specifically a 12-year-old boy, being used by a gang as like a killer. Something like, the Viet Cong did and other people did, using child soldier. You think that's going to be a gimmick, right? But you don't expect the kid is going to make it through most of the movie.
Okay, yeah. All right.
And become an important character. This 12-year-old gangster.
Even when I saw this, okay, so I'll say this much: RoboCop,
What's up, Papa?
the first one, yes, Pop Cotton. How you doing, bro? And so, all right, I barely remember part two. One is much more memorable. Of course, it is. Yeah,
Kind of. They call them
yeah,
RoboCop
it's
too.
kind of like if you were to combine Ed 209 with RoboCop, like I guess you could say. Would you say that?
Yeah, it's kind of somewhere in between that. It's a little like
Yeah, it's kind of in between with Murphy and Ed 209, right?
yeah, but it's like if it was a toy, it has
Or
a lot
way
more
more,
articulation.
also way more heavily armed. Holy fuck, is is Kane heavily armed?
Oh yeah, if this was a toy, which it probably was, then he has so many attachments that some of them would be sold separately.
Yeah, this motherfucker got secret weapon after secret weapon.
Right, which the scientists have no problem attaching all of these various weapons like miniguns and tasers, but they draw the line at drugs.
But okay, so the drug Nuke, it's overtaking the city.
Of Detroit.
All right, well, all right. Let's start here. The very first scene we get is one of the classic commercials that we have in the first RoboCop movie, but this is for an anti car theft device
Oh yeah,
where these braces wrap around you and shock you.
to death.
All right, and then it goes into the newscast reports we got from the first RoboCop. We see who. All right, what was this guy in the beginning? Was he like the head
Oh,
of
you mean the guy
yeah,
from Gremlins 2?
the guy who gets killed during the press conference in the very beginning of the movie on the news because he's talking about Nuke.
Oh yeah, he's talking about war on drugs. Like we're
Yeah,
gonna take Nuke off the streets. And
yes.
during the live broadcast, he gets gunned down.
Someone who's pretending to be a waiter comes up behind him and sprays him down.
Yeah. Now, if that was real Detroit, he would already be corrupt and on the payroll, so he wouldn't have gotten gunned down. But this Detroit was, I would say, more accurate in a lot of ways than the Detroit in the first movie.
Okay, so then all of a sudden we get a transmission as Lisa Gibbons, the woman who used to be on Entertainment Tonight back in the day.
Oh wow, I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, she's reprising her role from the first RoboCop, and they're let's see.
And a gibbon is a monkey, so she's basically like a dancing monkey for the media.
Well, her and the other guy, Casey Wong, the two reporters. Also, all right. Oops, we're gonna go into part three. Casey Wong is just a puppet. You see in part three that the main newscaster.
Yeah, and everything he says is wrong.
We get a transmission from Kane, and he just says like 3 lines, and he's sitting in the shadows. But we got a transmission from the Nuke Lord.
Yep.
He says like 3 lines.
He is the kingpin of the nuke peddling underworld of Detroit.
And he's a fucking weirdo. Holy shit. This
Well,
guy's
he's no
got
Clarence
problems.
Boddicker. Poor
Poor
Detroit. Kane was well depicted.
Was he well depicted?
He is okay. I mean, the actor is good. I've seen him in other roles where he really has range.
I've mostly seen him in bit parts.
Yeah. He was on an episode of Louie where he was like he was like a doctor and
Tom Noonan.
Yeah. No, he can do great work. He didn't really get a whole lot to work with in this movie. Kane is kind of he's well characterized, I guess, but he's kind of two-dimensional, right? Where he's a gangster.
Yeah. First of all right. I want to know what that Vietnamese woman or whatever she was when he's leaving RoboCop's raid on his factory in the beginning. I want to know what she said to him before he shot and killed her.
Oh yeah. When his
And what
stretch
was
limo
doing in his limo
is parked in the alley behind the soup
behind the
kitchen
drug
where
lab.
the nuke lab is.
Yeah.
Yeah. And she's just sitting in his limo and she says something and they just like shove her out.
No, well, first he shoots her before he
shoots
shoves
her.
out.
Yeah. So what was she doing in the limo? Was and
Yeah, but
if she was invited to be in there
too. But as soon as he opened the door, she started like flipping out, screaming something at him. And then he looked at his goons, and turned around with the gun, and then shot her.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I guess maybe she had something to do with all the slave workers they had in their factory when RoboCop raided the place. Well, let's go to how RoboCop raided the place. He punches some dude. Well, no, wait. No, we have to go back. We have to go back to the the raid on the gun store.
Yeah.
Our introduction to RoboCop in the movie.
Right. So there's a weapons store that's looks like it's close to downtown, and basically gets robbed, but it gets torn up in the robbery, and they take all kinds of guns. The one guy even picks a gun that takes a special kind of ammo. It's like a handgun that takes special ammo, and he's knocking over
this gun, man.
Yeah, he's knocking over all these bullets for some. It's probably like regular ammo. He's knocking it over. It's like, where's the ammo for this gun, man?
Gun, man.
It's like, why don't you just pick a regular gun that takes all this other ammo that there's plenty of? And then there's a bazooka. Yeah,
there's 2 bazookas.
Fire the torpedoes.
And you could probably get a bazooka in Detroit, but they're not going to sell it in the regular store. You got to know a
we
guy.
don't have bazooka stores here in the Bronx. There's no bazooka stores here in the Bronx, so I'm just saying. Like,
and they don't let you use that at the shooting range.
Detroit's pretty hardcore.
Oh yeah, you can get just about anything. And I did find that we have a lot of abandoned building space, and that is where you'll find like drug labs. But usually, it's like weed that'll be grown hydroponically within the city, and then like meth is cooked up out in the country.
On Meth Mountain.
Carol, are you gonna be a Nuke gangster?
Possibly.
Most ideologues are deep, as you do. Yeah. But the nuke was being mixed up in like an Erlenmeyer flask in the middle of a soup kitchen.
All right, this is also where we get the intro of Kane's goons.
Bob is not wrong. You don't want to leave DNA evidence in the car.
Kane's goons, which consist of some drugged out whore who's like wearing tight leather the whole time, who looks like she should be working at a strip club, and a 12-year-old kid.
Yeah, I mean, she was kind of hot, but she was a junkie.
He was 12.
Hasn't been doing Nuke too long. Yeah, and the kid is 12.
He's 12 years old, bro. This kid is 12 years old with his slick back hair. We get a 12-year-old drug lord in this movie.
Right. To be honest, I did think it was just going to be like a one-scene gimmick, right? Where during the firefight where RoboCop and Lewis are raiding the drug lab, there's like a kid with a gun. RoboCop has a directive conflict. He doesn't want to shoot a kid.
He keeps busting out that fold-out machine gun he has. He's got like that fucking crazy like suitcase machine gun.
Yeah, but that kid was a savage. He was a stone cold.
Oh, he's trying to strangle Lewis with fucking piano wire.
Oh yeah, at the arcade.
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay. I had even seeing this as a kid, I had a problem with that 12-year-old drug dealer. I'm not kidding. And to this day, watching this again, I still have a problem with that 12-year-old drug dealer.
He's a drug dealer, a pimp, and a killer.
No, as a kid though, that made me feel uncomfortable. I was like, oh, it's like, oh.
I know. It's like, what am I doing with my life? I just play video games all day. You know, this kid is like second in command.
He's his second in command. He literally is his second in command.
He is.
But he was so cute in his little suit.
The
Yeah,
dude
he's-
with the bolo tie that jackhammered RoboCop apart with the when they captured him. That dude wasn't his second in command. The 12-year-old was.
Right. Yeah, because he's giving orders to Angie, the nuke hoe.
The Nuke.
Nuke.
Yeah. He's giving her orders. She's asking him, she's like, this is what we should do. And he's like, no, that's not what we're gonna do. He's like bossing around. And it's like, oh my god, he's the boss. He's like the number two
Yeah,
man.
he's like waving the nuke in her face. He's like, yeah, I guess you don't get this anymore. It's like, what the fuck are you? You're
Yeah,
12
dude.
years old. How did she not just punch him in the face and take that shit from me? He's 12 years old.
Because then she'll only have
Like,
whatever,
seriously.
because she needs more than just whatever he's got. She needs to get more after she's out.
All right, so then why doesn't she? All right, come on. We already had a scene in the beginning where a bunch of hookers stomp some dude. They stomp some dude's face
Yeah.
in.
Oh,
All right,
They
first
were
of
aggressive hookers.
all right, this guy. All right, wait. All right, first we get an old lady. Old shopping cart lady, full of soda cans.
yeah. And in
And a
Detroit,
car
those
hit-
cans are worth
car
10
hit-
cents each.
Yeah, so she was making bank too.
Yeah.
Plus, she had jewelry.
Yeah, for some reason.
Well, I guess she was like, maybe she was going to a pawn shop. Who knows?
Maybe.
But okay, the opening scene, other than the commercial and newscast, is old lady shopping cart. Car smashes her shopping cart full of cans. Dude
Yeah.
comes over, pretends to help her, takes her purse, runs off, counting the money, walking down the street like an asshole, gets tripped up like one of these hookers.
And bracelet.
Yeah. He's taking all the shit out of her bag and showing off what he got. Foot sweep from a hooker. and then it comes to high heel fucking stomp down.
Yeah.
And as they take his shit. And then we get the RoboCop versus they seem like meth heads, right? Those guys that blew up the store in the beginning.
I
really like this gun, man. I don't know if that guy.
I think they were nuke heads.
Yeah, they were nuke heads. Yeah.
Right. They take all the guns, handguns, automatic rifles, and the bazooka.
Yeah, this movie is mean spirited from the very beginning.
Yeah, very dark, very cynical.
When you get that happening to an old lady, and then you get like the trickle down of everyone being scumbags.
And like every kid in this movie was a horrible person.
And yeah, I have a lot of opinions about this movie, Carol. You could just say that. So.
I love how excited you get.
Yeah, if you think about it, there's no good kids in the movie. There's the best we get are
No.
neutral kids playing in the water from the fire hydrant.
Wait. There is one good kid we get in the movie, and it's not even like we get to actually see the kid. It's when the little shit Hob. Okay, yeah, the little fucking shit 12-year-old drug lord kid Hob shoots RoboCop in the head during the raid, and he says, "You can't shoot a kid in the head, can you, fucker?" Because of course they got a little kid cursing his head off as much as possible too. But then he runs away. But then we see RoboCop gets a quick memory of his son playing catch with him. Where he,
Mhm.
remember that? That's probably the one good kid we get in this movie.
Oh, in a flashback. Yeah, that was a
And
better time.
He's not even like there. He's just on a
Yeah.
fucking computer.
Yeah. Well,
But
when
the
the
rest of the little kids, oh my god, the little kids in this movie are such fucking
and there's a
horrible.
baby, but I think the baby's too young to count.
Okay, yeah, there we go. We could count
But
the babies that they forced to cry, held at gunpoint again.
yeah, well,
Another movie that's doing that shit.
so it's when they're robbing the gun store and they're making their way out that you see the entrance of our hero in a police car coming up the street. And but before we even see him, we just see the police car getting blown up by the bazooka. And they're laughing about it because they're mean-spirited. And then suddenly the door opens and we see a metal foot get out. And we know, oh, it's our boy, Robocop!
Murph.
Murph.
Big Murph.
Yeah.
And these morons out in the street obviously have never watched the first RoboCop movie because they keep shooting. Then now they start shooting bullets at him, so they don't know that RoboCop's bulletproof and could just walk towards you and murder you.
Yeah, and he's a little bluer now, and basically takes them all out, and he asks them, "Where'd you get the nuke?"
Leaves one of them. He leaves one of them and then like finds the nuke in their front seat. And the moron is like, "It's not mine."
Yeah. He just finds it in the car.
Picks him up by his nostrils. Where is Kane?
And he basically just like walks around the block. I mean, his car is gone, so he just walks around the block into the alley where the limo is, and comes in through the back door.
And that's when the raid happens.
Yeah.
EWTG. How you doing, Chris?
Hi, Chris. And yeah, there's a firefight at the soup kitchen. They find the nuke in where it's being manufactured.
30 seconds.
And it's during that firefight that Hobb, the kid, pulls the gun on Robocop and says, "You can't shoot a kid, can you?" And we see from Robocop's point of view, his directives are getting confused. He's not sure what to do. And the kid shoots him. And luckily, Lewis shows up to handle the situation. Because Robocop really is not prepared to shoot a kid. But then we see another criminal from the other side of a doorway holding a baby in one arm and a machine gun in the other arm, pointed right at the baby. And,
yeah,
Slash was right. 2 weeks in a row.
Yeah, there were all the all the slaves in there seem to have babies in that drug lab. Like every woman that was a slave in that drug lab seemed to have a baby. There seemed to be a couple of babies lying around in that drug lab.
Just random babies.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're there for this situation, just in case.
Well, the drug slaves can't afford a babysitter, I guess, right?
I thought they're for shield.
If you're a drug slave, you're not going to be putting your kid in daycare or anything.
Yeah,
I guess.
And well, real drug slaves would be in their underwear in the drug lab. Yeah, to make sure they couldn't smuggle any out.
How do you know this?
Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I did live in Detroit for a while, so
yeah, sure.
Robocop doesn't want to shoot the guy because he's holding the baby with an MP5 to its head, and Lewis doesn't want to take the chance. But Robocop is a robot, and he can do some math.
And Robocop is the master of the no-look hit. As we see in this, he's like showing off at the end with the no-look hits.
Yep. And he calculates the trajectory with his gun pointed at the wall. He fires a bullet that ricochets off the wall and hits the criminal in the head, knocking him down, and Lewis catches the baby.
So we got a good save from Robocop. But Kane escapes.
And Hobb escapes with him. And
Kane and his crew escape because Kane pulled out a fucking thing with a smokestack. and
Yeah.
and gets in his limousine and kills the little the Vietnamese woman, whatever the hell she is.
Yeah,
who's
who was
screaming
in
at
his
him.
limo.
Yeah, he's just screaming at him. Boom! Wow.
Yeah.
I said I wish there were subtitles to see like maybe she was screaming like, "What'd you do with my slaves?"
Oh yeah, maybe she's like Madame Gao from
Yeah,
Daredevil,
it
right?
could be right. It
Yeah.
could be something along those lines.
Yeah. I didn't even think of that.
And then we see in the ranks of the Detroit Police Department that there is a fat nuke addicted cop that's
Duffy.
well we don't see yet that he's allegiance with Kane. Not yet.
No, you just see him step behind a doorway to shoot some nuke.
To nuke up in the precinct, and then we see Robocop casually stroll in the background. It's like while he's doing nuke behind the wall.
Yeah, yeah. So RoboCop can like shoot someone standing behind him, but he can't see this guy doing nuke around the corner.
Oh. Okay, but there's a thing though that there's another thing from the first one that kind of went wrong, right?
Well, with the mayor?
In the first one, RoboCop would get that thing crime in progress.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't the police officer doing drugs right behind the wall in the precinct trigger his crime in progress alert?
Well, not if he wasn't aware of it, because I think he gets the crime in progress update from like
From the
police scanner.
okay.
Yeah, like they put out an APB.
If he has a robo sense.
Yeah, I mean, because the first one was 87, right? So if they put out like an APB or something, somebody would have some secretary would have to be at a desk typing in the update for RoboCop to send it out to him.
What's good, Frank?
What's up, Fester?
Hey, bro.
But this is 1990 now. We already have 3D graphics in this movie.
No,
but I won't get into that yet.
I'm not doing Special Dead yet. I have a bunch of movies on my plate that I'm doing already.
We'll get to it.
Eventually, I will. I still have Samurai Cop on the list too.
Oh yes, I know about that one. I haven't seen it, but I've heard a lot about it.
Samurai
Special
Cop.
Dead.
Dead.
I've heard of Special Dead. I don't know exactly what it is.
Well, I know what it sounds like.
Yeah, I know what it sounds like too. I'm not gonna say it.
I think they made a sequel to Samurai Cop. It was like one of those 20-year later sequels.
Why would you?
They
First
had
of
a
all,
cult following.
why would they make the first one? Is my question.
It was a couple of years ago. I saw something about
I've
it.
seen the first one.
Yeah, it's
This
like a
guy-
bad movie, but it's
this
like
guy- This guy's doing spin kicks and his wig is falling off.
well, he only had a wig for the reshoots because he
Yeah, but he
he
was
cut his
still
hair off.
he was still swinging his wig around.
Yeah. This was in an era before reshoots were common on every movie, right? So he cut his hair off after the shoot, and they were like, "We need you to come back. We got to do some pickup shots." So he had to wear this really obvious wig.
All right, but when it's cases like that, you gotta staple the wig to the motherfucker's head. To make sure that it's not move around.
Yeah, they didn't have the budget for that one. The wig, dude, it looked worse than the hairpiece in Doctor Strange 2.
I haven't seen Doctor Strange too, so
It's
I
got a
don't know.
really obvious hairpiece. It's like jet black coming right out of his scalp. It looks glued on.
But I'm still bewildered by a Samurai Cop too.
Yeah, I gotta look into that because I hadn't seen the first one, but I think it was Red Letter Media. That's where I heard about it, and they were working on a second one.
Oh my God, Samurai Cop 2: Deadly Vengeance.
There you go.
2015, dude.
Yep.
Really?
Yep, and they even brought the actor back in to interview him about it because
Fucking God.
it
All right,
was one
even
of
the
those bad
Garbage
movies.
Day guy, the Garbage Day guy, from fucking from Silent Night, Deadly Night 2. That guy is like disappeared from the earth. Like you don't want to talk about that. And this guy's Samurai Cop is proud. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, you know who else is proud is the guy who directed Troll 2. He thinks
Oh,
that he's
Jesus.
like a brilliant visionary filmmaker and that all the people who love so that's Troll 2 is one of those beloved bad movies, right? Because it's so awesomely bad. And you know, they
Well,
have
all right.
conventions
So
and fans
now
that show
everyone
up.
has to be Tommy Wiseau and embrace their crap, right? Now is you have to be Tommy Wiseau now. Like I made shit and I'm gonna be proud. Like the Sharknado people. You have
Yeah.
to be proud of it. Okay.
Yeah. You got to know what it is, right?
Yeah.
But apparently the Troll 2 guy really thinks that he made a great film and that the people love it because it's great and not
Well, what do
because
you
it's
think? What do you
bad.
think Ivan Kirshner thinks of RoboCop 2? Do you think
Irving,
he's proud of it? Yeah,
yeah. He's probably
whatever.
proud of the effect shots because those are some of the best parts of the movie, and they were kind of on par with like his Star Wars effect shots. But some of the green screen is really obvious, just like in Empire Strikes Back. But like the stop motion was good, and they had a really good puppet of RoboCop in the movie.
Do you think these people were satisfied with making this? Do you think they were
Uh,
like, we got lightning in a bottle here, bro? You
I
thought
mean, what?
RoboCop? You thought the first RoboCop was awesome?
Well, let me put it this way: what else do you remember Irving Kirshner for?
I guess what'd you say you did? Empire Strikes Back?
Yep, and RoboCop 2, and I can't think of anything else. Someone in the chat might, but I can't remember any other movie he's done. He wasn't in the with the Directors Guild, which is why he was hired for Empire Strikes Back. Because George Lucas wanted to break some of the rules, and so he couldn't get a guild director, so he got Irving Kirshner. So he was good, but he was non-guild.
Let's see. Let's see.
So he's like the best there was outside of the circle.
High
Meaning he
budget
was not approved.
high budget blockbusters such as The Empire Strikes Back, Never Say Never Again, and RoboCop 2. So those are his
Oh,
blockbusters.
yeah. Never Say Never Again is a James Bond movie. But it's one of the Roger Moore James Bond movies, I believe. So not one of my favorite.
Does everyone hate Roger Moore as James Bond?
No, some people love him, but he's my least favorite Bond. No, you know what? I'm wrong. I just remembered. Never Say Never Again is the one. It was made during the Roger Moore era, but it was like kind of an off-brand Bond movie. That's when Sean Connery came back as an older James Bond, and they reused the script from
Yeah, that's right.
Thunderball.
He did one in between Bonds, right? He did one in between Roger Moore as Bond, just out of the blue, right?
Right, but it was like it was not made by the main company that made Bond films. There was a rights loophole where the guy who owned the rights to the Thunderball script was able to reuse it and just adjust it to make a different Bond movie. So it was like a Bond movie that wasn't an official Bond movie, right? Because like Sean Connery left and we got George Lazenby for On Her Majesty's Secret Service, and then Sean Connery came back for Diamonds Are Forever, and then he retired again, and you got Roger Moore, but then they brought Sean Connery back one last time for Never Say Never Again, which is why it's called Never Say Never Again, because he said he would never do another Bond movie.
Never say never again.
Yeah. But he did do that one more, but it was not an official Bond movie. And it came out the same year as Octopussy, if I remember correctly.
That's right,
which was
though.
the Roger Moore movie.
I do remember seeing that there was like a scattered Connery Bond in between other Bonds. I do remember seeing that.
And so remember what I said about him being a non-guild director? Well, they got him to direct Never Say Never Again, which was an unapproved, like, it was technically legal for them to do it. And
But
so they were able to make it, but it was not official.
I'm seeing his filmography. It's not a lot of stuff. It's, let's see,
Chris says Daniel Craig is the worst Bond.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14
Manticore says
movies.
more is
He's,
too la-di-da.
he's directed only 14 movies. Okay. Daniel Craig is the worst Bond.
Hmm. Yeah, I can see the case for that. Although he did grow on me
And
because of
also,
Casino
honestly,
Royale.
I haven't watched too many Bond movies in my life, so
Dude, my girlfriend had
if I've
never
seen
seen a Bond movie, so I
I've
showed
seen
her one.
RoboCop 2 multiple times, but I haven't seen too many Bond movies.
Dude, I finally showed my girlfriend a Bond movie. She's not that thrilled about it. Sean Connery and Pierce Brosnan. Yeah, those are my top two.
I think the most Bond movies I've seen were the Pierce Brosnan ones.
Well, yeah, those are the ones I grew up with because GoldenEye was my first Bond movie and I loved it. And then there was the N64 game. Lazenby is actually not bad.
Carol's never seen Bond movies. You could just say that in the chat. You don't have to say that in the chat, Carol.
I don't want to interrupt. You guys are.
So,
Keep
is
going.
this Irvin Kershner's second best movie? Well, I guess it's either that or Never Say Never Again.
I've never seen it, so I wouldn't know. But
Yeah,
I would say Empire Strikes Back is way better than RoboCop 2. I will say that.
Oh, and I think Never Say Never Again had Kim Basinger in it.
What took this guy 7 years to come out of retirement to make this movie right off Empire Strikes Back? Like, really?
You mean he didn't make anything between
Empire
and this?
No. Empire, Never Say Never Again, then RoboCop 2. But you said Never Say Never Again. You said that was shelved, right?
What? Never Say Never Again?
You said that was a shelved movie?
No, it wasn't shelved, but it was unapproved, so it was not an official Bond movie.
Okay.
But because
I thought you said it was
script
shelved.
for Thunderball had two writers, so they technically
shelved.
had the rights.
I thought you were saying it was shelved and then they released it later on. That's what I thought you were saying.
Oh, no, they basically reused the script from Thunderball. They just like rewrote some of it to make it a new movie. But it was only because they had the script rights to that movie. So most Bond movies are, written with a script adapted from a book or an original script. So with Thunderball, because they had a co-writer on the script adaptation, they were able to reuse it because of the rights. So it was kind of like they got a team together and they found a way to make it work. But it didn't have the official stamp of approval from like the Broccolis.
What do you say is better, RoboCop 2 or Empire Strikes Back?
Oh, Empire. That's my favorite Star Wars movie.
I agree.
It's a great movie, and Kershner does great work, and sometimes, he can do great work. And he did great work with Star Wars, and there's a lot of green screen work in Empire, but a script makes a big difference. You know
me. You know I'm not a huge Star Wars guy, but you know that I do like the first 3 movies. I know I've told you that.
Oh, yeah. And Empire's way better than Return of the Jedi, Didn't have any Ewoks in it. And
I do like the first 3 movies, and I have a connection to the original toys because those are some of the very first toys I remember having. And after that, like, my interest in Star Wars is kind of like, I don't know. But, I don't know. I'm not anti-Star Wars. I mean, granted, maybe anti what they put out now.
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
I don't give a fuck about
that's not Star Wars anymore. Dude, the Star Wars they're making now is the opposite of Never Say Never Again, right? Which was better than Octopussy, but it was unofficial. What we get now is Star Wars in name. I mean, it's, officially Star Wars by ownership of Disney, but it's it doesn't have like the spirit of Star Wars.
So how soon before Disney owns the rights to RoboCop? And then we'll be getting Disney RoboCop.
I don't know. And, it's funny, like a lot of the sequels and adaptations and stuff we get now are also, I've said many times, the opposite of RoboCop, right? Where they buy something and it's officially part of a franchise, but it's not really. They don't really make something that's true to the franchise. Whereas, like, they're afraid to make something original. RoboCop was created because they wanted to make a Judge Dredd movie, but they couldn't get the rights, so they made RoboCop instead, and it ended up being so good it stood on its own and became its own, its own property. And it's unique. It's not the same thing as Dredd, right? But they had to develop something original.
It's not the same thing, but you do see the similarities between RoboCop's armor and Judge Dredd's, his uniform. You do see like.
Yeah. But it is creatively distinct from Judge Dredd.
Yeah.
And so I like that.
Also, Judge Dredd isn't a cyborg. So.
Right. Whereas like the 2014 remake of RoboCop is the opposite of the original RoboCop, because it's like, oh, we'll make a RoboCop movie, but it didn't have the character of RoboCop.
No. It was just piggybacking. That's all it was doing. Just like they all do. They just piggyback.
Yep.
You could say this was piggybacking. You could say RoboCop 2 was piggybacking. It's like,
oh yeah. Well, because most
they really
are not as good.
I don't think they put their all into this the way they did the first one.
Maybe that's why they got Irvin Kershner, not just the effect shots and like sort of the sci-fi visuals, but because he made the best part 2 of anything other than The Godfather.
Oh, so they thought this was going to be
the Empire Strikes Back of RoboCop, maybe. I don't know. I mean, I can't think of any other part 2 besides Star Wars and Godfather that was as good as or better than the first movie.
So what point are we at in the movie? So we got sidetracked.
Yeah, so Kane gets away, and RoboCop goes back to the station, and
somehow
Duffy,
Kane has a bomb disposal truck.
Yeah.
Kane's running around town in a bomb disposal truck. We don't know how he got it. Although I guess we know how he got it because he has gold bars. He has a lot of gold bars.
Yeah, I don't know where he got those. Even Fort Knox doesn't have
Yeah,
those anymore.
where the fuck did you get that? And how much do you pay for an actual gold bar?
You must be selling a lot of Nuke.
But I'm saying, like, do you go to the bank, put money down, be like, I'd like a gold bar?
I don't think so, man. I think you got to steal it.
He must have sold a lot of them.
I don't think we have any gold bars in Detroit. All right.
You're going to watch movies with us, Carol.
I am watching movies with you.
I know.
I already forgot some of the order of events in the middle of the movie. I remember at OCP we got a new old man played by
no, it didn't. You're right, Krish.
Andrew Packard from Twin Peaks. He was the old man in this one. As you pointed out, he's more of a douchebag than the old man in the first one.
He's like legit saying, like, we're gonna destroy the city so we can take over. He legit is saying this multiple times.
Yeah, there is a light anti-capitalist message in the movie. They don't go communist, but there is criticism of capitalism as far as like corporate capitalism, what we might call crony capitalism, right? Because it's this massive, corporation that does whatever it wants. They just buy up,
and
property.
All right, wait. Well, let's talk about the mayor.
The mayor, the mayor.
The guy who looks like he's like 20 years old, 25 years old. He's flailing around. You motherfucker! You see that motherfucker?
Yeah, and honestly, he would be better than any mayor that we've had in Detroit in my lifetime.
I liked him in this movie. I like his over the top acting in this movie. It was funny.
He was a good, like, he cared, and he was one of the least corrupt people in the Detroit government.
He cared so much he tried to make a deal with the Nuke lords later on. Yeah.
Yeah, but our real politicians are way more corrupt than that. Yeah, no. RoboCop 2 downplays the corruption of Detroit politicians. I mean, we had Kwame.
Yeah, you told me about this guy. I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't know about him, but you told me about him the other day. So
Yeah, Kwame was more like Kane. Like if Kane was the mayor, yeah, that's what that would be like.
Rob Ford.
Oh no, dude, Rob Ford just liked to party. No, Kwame was
Oh yeah,
a
Kwame
legit
the
gangster. Yeah, he had
He'll
prostitutes brought to
put
the
a hiss
mansion,
on you. He'll
and
put
then he
a
had
hiss on
them.
you.
Yeah, and then he
I
had them
guess I shouldn't go into this conversation too much.
deleted. That's a whole other conversation.
I don't want the the mayor of Detroit coming after me for
No.
saying shit like this on my stream.
No, I'm not saying anything about the current mayor.
Oh, either way.
Not specifically, but anyway. So one of the businessmen from OCP from the first movie comes back, but obviously some of the executives died in the first one, so we got a new old man, and
Nah, he's the same old man
is the same old man?
from part one. Yes, same guy.
Is he? Oh, okay.
Yeah, same guy.
Oh, hey, Bo.
Hi, Bone.
Yeah, but he's worse now.
Family.
What a bone.
We are
You're a nuclear family.
funny.
You don't get gold from the bank. You get the from a minter jewelry maker.
Okay.
Oh, so I could go to the jewelry maker in my neighborhood and get a gold bar? Jesus
Well, you're in
Christ.
New York. You could go to Jacob the jeweler. Nobody remembers Jacob the jeweler.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, Dan O'Hurley. Dan O'Hurley is the old man.
Yeah. That's him. Okay. Dude, because I've
Oh,
been
he's in
watching
the
Twin
Last
Peaks, so
Starfighter. He's in the
You what?
Last Starfighter.
oh, okay. Yeah, no, dude, I'm like finishing watching all of Twin Peaks, so like I remember him, like he's fresh in my mind as Andrew Packard, who fakes his own death. You think he's dead for like 2/3 of the show, and then he shows up again.
Yeah, I never really saw him in anything else. I saw Dick Jones in more stuff because Dick Jones was in Total Recall. He was in what was it? Fucking was it 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop? Beverly Hills Cop. He was in, right?
Yeah, he's one of Verhoeven's guys. Verhoeven didn't do Beverly Hills Cop, but
But this one had Peter Weller as RoboCop as opposed to the third one. So.
yeah, he did come back, and Lewis came back.
Yep, she came. Well, she was actually in the third one too. She made it to the third one, but Peter Weller didn't.
No, he smart enough not to come back for that mess. All right. So the next thing I remember is the little league team ransacking the store. So what?
No. We forgot about the gang capturing RoboCop.
Oh yeah, that is before that. So the gang being
Hey.
the 12-year-old kid Hob, Angie the Nuke Ho, and the guy that
Kane.
looks like the bassist for the Stray Cats,
And Kane.
and Kane. Yeah. And they have Elvis's body.
Well, first they slice open Duffy.
Oh God, yeah.
Before they capture RoboCop, they slice open Duffy.
You said you were just gonna make him. You were just gonna scare him.
RoboCop throws Duffy through like 6 arcade games.
Oh yeah, the arcade. Yeah. Okay, so that's after the arcade.
Duffy, our Nuke Cop.
Yeah. Well, the raid on the arcade is where where you see the kid shooting his machine gun, and then he tries to strangle Lewis. And Duffy's there. RoboCop puts his head into the arcade machine.
Yes, but Duffy's given up his information to RoboCop, and later on, They get Duffy out of jail. Duffy is in his police uniform when they get him out of jail, and he's all bandaged up. And then they knock him out. Next thing you know, he wakes up in a gurney, and they're like taunting him, like, pretending they're gonna slice him open. And the guy's like, "Maybe you want the kid to leave," and Kane is like, "Why?"
Yeah.
We see how ruthless Kane is.
And how ruthless the kid is.
Well, we see the kid isn't that ruthless because when they do slice him open, the kid looks away, but Kane makes him watch. Kane
Yep.
like grabs his head and like.
Yeah, and Angie's
I had
like,
a big
"Ugh."
problem with this 12-year-old drug dealer, dude.
Yeah. And so Angie's
Every
like, you said
time
you were
I
just
wa-
gonna scare him.
Every time I watch this movie, I have a big problem with that 12-year-old drug dealer.
Maybe he was just
Dude.
young looking for his age, maybe a midget or something.
Oh yeah, he was like the Gary Coleman of drug dealers.
Yeah.
Well, dude, that kid is actually a pretty decent actor. He was in Star Trek around the same
Oh,
time.
I'll say he did a good job.
Yeah.
You could tell this kid's dialogue was not written by him. It was written by a fucking like crazy 35-year-old man.
What, Frank Miller? And the other
What, he
no-name
did
guy?
half the screenplay.
He did. So Duffy's dead. No great loss there, but
But
pretty
RoboCop
brutal.
raids their factory again by himself.
yeah,
And got
which looked like a real location.
It gets captured.
Yeah, they pick him up with a giant magnet, like an impound lot magnet.
They smash him with a giant like construction hook from out of nowhere.
Oh yeah. Yep, and they take a jackhammer to him and a chisel, and they bust him up real good.
Well, the first thing they do is get his gun hand off. That's what it
Yeah.
is.
Oh yeah, and then they
First
shoot it with a taser.
hand, they shoot his chest with a taser.
Oh,
This
speaking
giant
of Detroit,
cannon. It was like not even a taser. It was like a cannon taser.
Vigilante Williamson is here.
Oh, what's up, dude?
He probably knows what I'm talking about. This warehouse looks like some spot downriver from Detroit and like River Rouge or Ecorse. It looked like a real location.
Yeah, Vigilante. This movie compared to the first one is bad.
Yeah, all the empty real estate look location accurate.
Also, when I say bad movie, it's kind of subjectable because some of these movies I come out and I'm like, no, it wasn't bad. So
Yeah, this is part 2.
they
spray
paint-
painted it.
remember the kid
Yeah.
kicked me on his back?
Yep. And as someone mentioned in the chat earlier, the kid's like, I want to see his brain.
Yeah.
Show it to me.
Yeah, as they decide to dismantle RoboCop. What did you think about that, Darius? When they were going from his view? No, but I'm saying, like, how do you think, like, how that was shot? How they kept going back from RoboCop's view while he was chained down to what they were doing to him?
It was effective. That was a good directorial choice, right? Because then we get the empathy of seeing from RoboCop's point of view, and we feel like,
You think
like
that
he's
also
getting.
could have been a cop out on special effects?
Oh, I didn't even think of that.
Thought that too. I thought about that too. Like maybe this could be a cop out on the special effects of them taking him apart.
Maybe, but I mean, you get to feel like, you see from his point of view as they're taking the jackhammer to his right leg and the chisel to his left leg, and they bust into his helmet.
Say, all right, at least
Agreed.
you agree, Vigilante.
And they dump his parts in front of the police station
While the police are striking, we forgot to talk about
the
police.
strike. Yeah, they're on strike.
They were
'cause,
even talking about since the first one.
Yep.
Even since the first RoboCop, they were talking about striking the whole
Yep.
time.
They even have a picket line with signs. With all the millions that OCP spent on trying to develop another RoboCop. They could have just paid all of the police's pensions.
Oh, we
Oh,
forgot
yeah.
to talk about that too.
Yeah, we did.
The prototypes.
Hi,
The
Sherry.
two prototypes. Oh, hey, Sherry.
Oh, hey,
Hey,
Sherry.
Sherry.
Hello.
Maybe that's another reason they got Irvin Kershner, because he could do like the stop motion shots.
But
They're trying to build a RoboCop 2.
well, even before they show the prototypes, we see that one of the guys that are there for the whole thing, like he's got his lab coat on, but he's got his arm in a sling. And then when they show the first video, we see why he gets his arm in a sling.
Yeah, the first prototype,
The first prototype shoots two of the people that were around.
and then shoots itself in the head. That was pretty clever.
Yeah, that was funny.
And then the
It
second,
still kind of had its humor from the first one, but
yeah, it wasn't quite as satirical though. Like you said, it was more like kind of mean-spirited humor. The second one is just a robot that comes out and pulls off its helmet, and you just see a skull underneath, and then it collapses.
it just falls. Oh, I wonder what the outtakes. I'm sure they had. I'm sure they had plenty more.
Oh yeah,
I'm sure they
Maybe
had
they're on the
plenty
DVD.
more of the prototypes.
but
But
they
it was-
just couldn't. They
yeah,
couldn't.
They still want to move on with the RoboCop 2 program.
Yeah, it was like $19 million wasted.
And who comes into play? The whore.
Oh, the corporate
The
whore,
corporate whore.
the ladder climber.
The corporate fuck dude.
Yeah, who's banging the old man,
And we
juggling his
legit-
saggy
we
old
legit
balls.
get to see- We legit get to see that she's banging the old man. She's having tea with him in his fucking Japanese koi pond / hot tub area in the private sector.
Yeah, with his samurai armor on the wall.
Don't forget your shoes on the way out. Yeah, lovely Sherry. Have you ever heard of a RoboCop 2? You ever heard of it? She was hot. She wasn't hot. She wasn't hot. No, she looked like she was skanky. I don't know. You think she was hot, Darius?
She was bangable. Is what I would call her.
I mean, maybe blowjob. I don't know. I don't think I'd put anything in her. I don't know.
I don't know about the actor, but that character definitely took it in the boot.
She took 80-year-old OC Peacock.
Oh, 100%. She would do anything to get what she
Yeah,
wanted.
we definitely see that with the hot tub scene.
Yeah.
Or maybe in the director's cut they also have a fucking explicit scene between the two of them.
Maybe. No, yeah, she's
It's like a scene from Basic Instinct, but that guy and that woman.
yeah. I don't know if she's like like a psychopath, but she's definitely like she only cares about like
Climbing that corporate ladder.
yeah.
And she's like a psychoanalyst or some yada yada yada.
Yeah, I don't even know if her education and training matter by the time we come into the movie, because whatever she wants, she'll get it. She probably has some made up job title.
She just seems to worm her way into their meeting.
Mm-hmm.
The old man doesn't even say anything to her, but she's just following them in the background during that meeting they have where she says they need new subjects for. She's saying that the RoboCop 2 program is like, you can't keep using dead police officers because they're too loyal and too macho. She says all that bullshit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she was a little bit inconsistent about that, which we'll get to. So, but if we could compare her to anyone from last week's movie, it would be the surgeon who, figures out how to reattach limbs to other people, and when we see that, the killer who's been dismembered and his limbs were attached to other people,
She was
the head,
heartbroken. She was heartbroken.
yeah,
Exactly.
yeah, she saw him as like her project, like her, almost like her child, and she wanted to protect him. And so uh this chick from OCP is basically in charge of the Robocop 2 program. And yeah, she doesn't want
And gets to
cops.
reprogram RoboCop when
She
he
does.
gets dismantled.
Yeah, which is the perfect time to bring her in because his pieces are dumped at the police station during the protest, and so they bring him in, and they're like, "Oh, to repair him is going to cost millions."
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
they're
the
not sure they
fucking
want to spend the
asshole,
money on him.
remember the asshole lawyer, Kevin Nealon looking dickhead? Like
Yeah,
Kevin Nealon, but not quite.
yeah.
He-
He looked like a total corporate yuppie
Yeah.
with
A
slick
lawyer
back hair.
douchebag. Yeah.
Yeah,
Lawyer, I guess we'll call him lawyer douchebag. Okay.
yeah. The same guy from the beginning when Murphy
Who's
was.
telling Murphy to not be Murphy? He's
Yeah.
telling Murphy he's a machine. Yes.
Yeah, he's
Same.
like, "You're not a person. You're a machine. Are you Alex Murphy? No, you're just a machine." Telling him to forget about his wife, that she's better off without him. Same guy.
And so she decides to take RoboCop offline and reprogram him. And she's in a board meeting too with a bunch of fucking assholes who are like, he's just pointing his gun around the whole time. He's not he's not going to schools and talking to kids or anything.
Yeah, she basically wants to
Even
sew
though
him
it,
up.
oh, you know what? And that's bullshit too, because we even see in the first one. In the first one, there's a quick news clip of him going to schools. There is a very quick, and he's like, "What do you have to say to the children?" And he looks at the camera and goes, "Stay out of trouble." So
Yeah,
we did see he did go to school at least once.
that's true. But like any soulless corporation or soulless corporate executive, Disney care about doing good. She just cares about the company looking good.
Yeah.
So she wants to manage the PR, right? Well, she's not in charge of PR, but she's, in charge of the RoboCop program. So she wants to alter him, in this case, his directives, so that he operates in a more public friendly way.
And then we get to see RoboCop. They put him back together, but then we get to see RoboCop wearing his helmet, but there's no visor on his helmet. I thought that was cool. I thought that was cool to see RoboCop with no visor on his helmet. You get to see his eyes moving around. She's typing all these programs into him, and every time you hear her keyboard clacking, you see his eyes like rattling around. I thought that was kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that she gives him at least 250 new directives.
They're still counting by the time we get to see how many directives he's been given. And then upcoming is probably what I'd say is the worst part of the whole movie, where you get soy RoboCop.
Yeah. You get soy RoboCop, and the first crime is the Little League team ransacking the electronics store.
All right, wait, but before we get into that, Darius, you knew there was a series, right?
The animated series?
No, there was a live action.
Oh yeah, I heard about the live action series. It's hard to find info about it, but
it's terrible.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Sherry. I mean, if you liked it, I'm just saying.
Wasn't it like a Canadian production?
I don't even know. I watched a couple episodes.
I just found out about it a few months ago.
Saw a few episodes. I was like, I'm good.
it's hard to find anything about it. Screenshots, any information at all.
If
It's
Papa
not streaming
Cotton,
anywhere.
Papa Cotton, if you're talking about what's her face again? Facts.
Fax, yeah, her name was Fax.
Yeah.
That's how you know she's 100% corporate. Her name was Fax.
You fucking psycho. Yeah. Well, I mean, other than
Lewis.
Murphy, Murphy and Lewis, yes, I'd say they are. Because Murphy, of course, you're always gonna fucking side with Murphy watching these movies.
Oh,
How many
yeah.
times is he gonna get assaulted by a bunch of people when he did no wrong? Even the third one, even the fucking third one was the same shit. He's always having people turn on him and assault him like gang style. It's like it always happens to him.
Yep. He always gets mangled.
Yeah. It was good. Like, even in the first one, he got like when they turned on him after he tried to arrest Dick Jones.
Yep.
It always happens to him. Murphy should just stop being a cop. Like you ungrateful fucking assholes.
Well, he's got his directives. He used to have 3. Now he has 250 or more.
No, he had 4.
Oh, 4, yeah. But now he has stuff like
Something about avoid conflict if possible.
yeah, don't say that you'll be on time if you won't.
All right, well,
This is one of them.
the first thing we see right here, the fucking the appliance store robbery.
By the Little League team and the coach.
Those
The
kids.
The coach is coaching the team to fucking rob an appliance store. This motherfucker's waiting outside in his minivan with a gun, and Robocop and Lewis pull up.
Yeah, and they just finished their game, and he's having them rob the store, and he immediately pulls a gun on the cops.
They're in their uniforms. They're all geared up.
And there's a girl on the team.
They're hitting the fucking guy with the baseball bat and recording it with the camera.
They're recording it on some 1990 camcorder.
Holy shit!
And
this was where they got. That's where I was like saying like so many sadistic children in this movie.
Yeah, and the coach immediately pulls a gun on Murphy and Lewis when they pull up.
Yeah, he's the coach, the scumbag coach is the lookout outside the appliance store holding a gun.
There's no crying in baseball.
And he's already shooting at them, and Robocop's chilling in the car while Lewis is freaking out while Murphy's chilling in the car just looking nowhere.
Yeah, he's like, good
"Wake
afternoon,
up,
citizens.
Murphy." She's screaming at him, "Wake up, Murphy!"
Yeah. And he's like, can't we talk this out?
And she's using Murphy as a shield as he walks towards him, and Little League coach is shooting at him.
Bing, bing. Yeah. And then while Murphy's like trying to have a dialogue with him, Lewis shoots the coach in the head.
Right in the fucking head.
And the kids don't stop rating the store either.
They're monsters.
And and the Robocop's like says something to them like, "Oh, isn't it a school day?" And they start cussing at him, and he's like, "Bad language leads to bad feelings."
Well, wait, before he talks to the Little League team, he's reading the rights to the dead body of
yeah.
Little League coach.
She's like, "You're reading the Miranda rights to a corpse."
And he goes, "I'm having trouble." Yes, we got like a 10-minute comedy scene of Robocop. In this
A very
fucking
dark
movie.
comedy.
No, I just mean the way Robocop was acting.
Yeah.
And then he gives us a stupid speech to the Little League team while, while they come into the store. Well, Lewis is like, "Where did they go?" And the Little League team's hiding behind the car. The guy's like, "Where did they go? They're still
They're
here,
still
little
here."
bastards."
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then Lewis puts them all up against the wall at gunpoint. But then when Robocop comes in and gives them the stupid speech, they all run out.
Yeah, they just run off and get away. And she's like, "What's wrong with you?" And it just runs through all of his new directives.
Well, there was like 240 something by the
Yeah,
time I saw the screen cut off.
yeah. It goes up to like 250 which we see from his point of view.
So they're getting into the discussion about what's wrong with him, and all of a sudden he gets self-aware and electrocutes himself.
Oh yeah. Is that why he did that? I didn't understand why he did that. He went to like the electrical box, and there's just two levers inside. I thought he was going to shut off the power, but he just grabs it.
He did that to reboot himself.
Okay. Yeah, he just grabs him and is just electrocuting
Because
himself.
remember, there's still a little bit of human left in Murphy.
Right.
Despite what they tell him, that motherfucker still got some humanity in him.
Yep. So he basically like factory resets his hard drive.
And then the striking cops want to, like, they want to pull. Well, first off, he's electrocuting himself. And
Yeah, but then he has no directives, right?
well, Lewis decides to blast him with a wooden board, which is the smart move, by the way. When someone's getting electrocuted, do not use a metal pipe to knock them away from it, because you'll
Right.
get electrocuted too.
If you had to do
Now
that,
you know. Now you know. And knowing is half the battle.
Bronx life.
Well, all right. Knock on wood. I've never been around an electrocution. I just know the thing about not taking someone off of an electrocution with anything metal. You know, that whole thing.
That's what my grandma always told me.
I don't know how I know that, but I know it. She blasts him off the. Oh, also, all right. Lewis is what? Probably 120 pounds.
Maybe, yeah, maybe a little more.
You can separate Robocop from an electrical box with a wooden board. She's 120 pounds. Robocop survived 3 goddamn explosions in his cop car in the beginning of the movie.
And getting taken apart.
He survived multiple explosions in his cop car in the beginning of the movie and got out scot-free.
Yep.
When he got out of the cop car after it exploded, he was fine.
Yep. And he's been on fire.
Yeah. But Lewis could separate him from the whatever.
Hey, that's the way Frank Miller wrote it.
Or maybe it was the soy program in him. It was all the soy that was programmed in his directives.
Yeah, maybe she was just trying to neuter him so he wouldn't stop the nuke industry.
And then all of a sudden they did the cops want the striking cops. They decide to stop striking and carry out Robocop, and he's like, "Put me down."
I legit don't even remember that part.
Yep. Yeah, they're carrying him out. And he says, "Put me down." And they're like, "What's bugging you?" And he goes, "Crane's bugging me."
Oh yeah.
And then we get Robocop versus Kane for the last time. Well, last time before Kane is not human. And then we get
and that's when he has no directives anymore, right?
Yeah, no more directives.
so he's as human as he can be. And he can shoot away.
So then we got another arcade rain. And I guess we'll just cut into it. It gets into an awesome fucking scene. Where there's a game of chicken.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, Kane's in his truck. And 3 motorcyclists go by. 2 on Japanese bikes and 1 on an American hog. And Robocop just sort of backhands the third biker and takes the bike. And he pulls up to the end of the street in front of Kane, and he just revs the gas. And they just look at each other, and they know it's on. And then they go.
So you're describing a porn?
Well, no, it's like now that RoboCop has no directives, he's not. His brain is not all machine, so he can taunt him, right? And he can engage in risky behavior. So he rides at him, and they ride. Kane's in a big truck, RoboCop's on the motorcycle,
and dive tackles Kane through the front window.
Yeah.
When they collide, and it's fucking awesome. And the truck goes flipping over and explodes. RoboCop survives a lot of explosions.
Mm-hmm. Even Kane survives. But
Yeah,
he's bagged up.
barely survives.
Yeah, he's got to go to the hospital. And if there's one thing that gangsters don't like, it's going to the hospital.
Now we get the bright idea from stupid bitch. Stupid bitch decides to fucking turn Kane into RoboCop too.
Yep.
While he's dying. He's hooked up to tubes and everything.
Yep. She smiles in his face and shuts off his life support. And while he's in the hospital, the kid and the stripper chick are in a car, and she's Angie. She's telling him what she thinks they should do. And kid,
they bailed during the raid that Kane got destroyed by RoboCop.
Right. And the kid,
when they stopped in where they bailed in the fucking the bomb disposal truck. And they stop, and she's like, he'll kill us both if he survives, he'll kill us both. And they're both like, yeah, he'll kill us both. And then all of a sudden the kid flexes. The 12-year-old kid flexes. So go ahead, Darius.
Yeah. And basically, he tells her that he doesn't care, and he tells her what they're gonna do. And that was when we really realized that he was the boss. And
unfucking believable. How did this 28-year-old woman not just backhand in the face? Fuck you little Dennis the Menace motherfucker.
Yeah, and she's having doubts about the orders he just gave her. So he pulls out a batch of Nuke from his coat, and he's like, "Oh yeah, do you want some more of this? Then you'll do what I say." He's like a crack pimp. Yeah, and she's like, basically like, "Yes, I want it, Daddy."
Why you gotta say it like that?
That's the underlying message.
They should have made her say it like that. They really should have made her say it.
Yeah, that's the implication, Carol, is that she's saying like, "Yes, I want it, Daddy."
My 12-year-old daddy.
Stop saying daddy.
And so he establishes himself as being in charge now, right?
He's a peer player.
Yeah. Yeah, he's a climber too. So he
Oh,
doesn't know.
he's definitely a climber.
Yeah. So as far as they know, Kane is not dead, but
You
Kane
should have
is.
met OCP bitch. They would have made an ultimate fucking destruction crew.
Oh yeah, she definitely would have banged
Her
that
plus
kid.
12-year-old, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
They would have been
she
an
would.
ultimate fucking destruction crew. That Detroit would have been hit with a nuclear bomb at some point. They'd still make money off it.
Oh yeah, and she'd get in with him by giving him handies.
Yeah.
But so
While
they know.
people get cut open. Yeah.
Yeah, they know that Kane's not dead, but they know he's incapacitated. So Hobb, the kid, is making his move. If he can consolidate enough power by the time Kane gets out of the hospital, then it won't matter anyway.
You also know how he's making his moves? Because now he's wearing suits.
Oh yeah, yeah. The next time we see him, he's wearing a suit and tie, so we know he is now the kingpin. And they're back at the warehouse. Meanwhile, the OCP chick shut off his Kane's life support, and we get an immediate cut to the operating room where the scientists are going to work on him, and
She's also like taunting him before she pulls his life support too.
oh yeah, giving him a big smile as she kills him. So when the scientists are going to work on him, she comes in from like a balcony and looks down and just admires the work that they're doing. She's just very she's just super into it. And then they take the saw, also like last week, they take the buzz saw and they cut Kane's cranium off. So they only get 5 minutes before the brain starts to die. And they pop the top of his head off. It's super gross. But she is loving it. And
She is. She's a sadistic fuck.
they take his entire brain and spine and his eyeballs out, which kind of reminded me of like the true ending of Star Fox 64 when you fight Andross and you blow up his robot monkey head, and inside there's just like a brain and eyeballs. That's kind of what it looked like, but with a whole spine attached, and it's like in like a tank of, I don't know, like a saline solution, right? So they're keeping it alive, and the eyes are still working, but they can't blink. And she's bringing in a tube. Imagine if like the ooze from Ninja Turtles was red. That's how much Nuke she has in this tube. Where she got it? Probably from Kane's gang.
Yeah, she got a fucking she has a thermos full of Nuke.
Yeah, it's like a kilo of Nuke, in liquid form. And the scientist is protesting. He's like, no, I refuse to allow any illegal drugs into my lab.
All right, well, all right. We also get the point where Hobb and Nukor decide to call up one of the mayor's goons or whatever the fuck they were, councilmen, whatever the fuck they were.
Yeah.
And they want a meeting with the mayor.
Yeah.
And then there's one of the mayor's idiots goes to OCP dude and tells him there's a meeting. And this is where we get the introduction of Kane. I mean, Kane as Robocop 2.
Yeah.
Not Kane himself, but Kane as Robocop 2. In his crazy-ass cyborg nuke-fueled fury. And it's just insane because who the fuck would agree to this?
Right. So the meeting is down at the same warehouse from earlier, right? And Hobb is there in his suit. Angie, the Nuke Ho, is there. Now the mayor and his top guys are there. Everybody's there, right? The city government's there, and all the gangsters are there. And Kane shows up looking like a cross between, or like Ed 209 and like the mech suit from Alien 2 or Aliens. And what was the other thing you said it was like?
I was saying he's kind of like if you met Murphy and Ed 209 in between.
Yeah, kind of, right? Because there's an
Because
organic component. He's got a human brain.
Kane had more mobility than Ed 209 did. You know, we saw Kane could actually move around, and as opposed to Ed 209 being a big clunky motherfucker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, no, he does have a lot of mobility. He's got all kinds of articulation. Like he's got 360 at the waist. His arms can move around. He's got clamps. He also has clamps that take in Nuke.
His toes have multiple points of articulation because we
Yeah.
get a lot of shots of his toes.
Yeah, and he's got like 18 different weapons, and he's got a TV screen that pops out with a 3D animated rendering of what his head looked like when he was alive. For some reason,
Yeah, we got a little flat screen inside him.
yeah, but it's 1990s, so
we got Kane's face.
yeah, it's like N64 graphics. It looks like Reboot or Xavier Renegade Angel.
Would you say it was a 16-bit or a 32-bit? Probably 32-bit at the time.
It's at least 32 because it's like, you know, a 3D model. I mean, because if you look at like PlayStation games, you know, their faces were usually just painted on. This had actual like, you know, eyeballs and a mouth that open and move, like Mario's face in Mario 64 when you can pinch parts of his face and drag him around. Like Kane's face in the animation, you know, moved around. He could make emotional expressions, which means that someone at the lab had to program it in all these frames of animation and how to respond to the emotions in the brain that's like stuck in the robot. So I was like, okay, if you say so. And it'll
still great.
Make Nuke great. Yeah, because before she cut him loose from the lab, she has the tank of Nuke, and he's got this compartment with a little claw inside that seems specifically designed to take in Nuke, right? So she knew what she was doing by getting not only a hardened killer and a criminal mastermind, but a Nuke addict because he's been getting high in his own supply all movie.
Ed 209 couldn't go on stairs. They gave Robocop 2 toes.
That's true.
But also, Ed 209 did have toes. They were just gigantic toes that were bigger than stairs.
Yeah.
But he had, like, every time Kane's feet were clamping down on the fucking street or wherever the fuck he was standing, they kept doing like it was like they made sure that, like, you know, he could move, and that he was going way faster than an Ed 209 too.
Yeah,
this motherfucker could run up an elevator chute.
Yeah,
with four fucking how he had 2 legs, right? Yeah, 2 legs, but 2 arms, 2 legs. The motherfucker's like wilding his arms out, scrambling up the fucking elevator chute. He's a fucking awesome fucking looking thing, but
yeah, and he's got mini guns and he's got a taser.
Oh, he's got that shoulder cannon too.
Yep, shoulder cannon. He's got all kinds of guns, and he has what's his number 1 directive?
The mayor.
Kill the mayor.
Kill the mayor and his associates.
And his associates. And so Kane basically tries to take out everybody at the meeting. He takes out the top aide for the mayor, dead.
He takes out everyone but the mayor.
Yeah.
Basically, right? Everyone dead but the mayor.
Yeah, and he even catches up with Angie, and the TV screen comes out, and she sees that it's Kane, and she smiles. Her she has really nice teeth, actually.
Yeah, and then she implies that she wants to fuck a robot.
Yeah, she runs her finger delicately along his clamp.
Sex bot.
Yeah, and then the ladies really want to bang robots in this movie.
Yeah, that woman in charge of Robocop really seemed like she wanted to fuck Murphy. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, the good lady. Yeah.
I can
And
feel it. I know every inch. She literally said she knows every inch of RoboCop. She literally said that.
she did say that.
Oh what?
Murphy, are you fully functional?
She legit said she knows every inch of him.
Mm-hmm. And it's not made clear whether or not Kane was programmed to choke, but he
Well,
he's
I
at first.
it didn't look like he choked. It looked like he went snappy, snap, snap, snap. Because
Yeah, because at first he's smiling at Angie, but then he
then he bugs out on his big screen. His big screen bugs out. He's like, rah!
right, and then he just grabs her
With
by
his
the head.
and it's like his clamps. I don't know if
He
you watch
gives her the clamps.
the clamps.
Give her the clamps. And he gives her the clamps and like snaps her neck.
But we see him pick her up, but then we hear snappy snap while you see Hobb looking in the background. And then when he drops her, it looks like he broke her in like fucking 3 pieces.
Yeah.
So he goes on his murdering rampage.
Yep. And like you said, he kills just about
Trying to
everyone
kill the
except the
mayor.
mayor. The mayor gets away by slipping down into a manhole.
Yeah. Diving into the oceans.
Right, like Ninja Turtles. You just whoop. So
And
the
Hobb
one person he was there to kill gets away.
Hobb is still in there. And Hobb dives into the bomb disposal truck that gets sprayed.
Yeah. Yep. And then and he's just like just lying in all the money and the gold bricks.
He's lying and dying.
Yeah, almost symbolic, wouldn't you say? He's like dying on top of the pile of money.
Yeah, that's definitely what they were going for with that too. I don't get what they were doing with a 12-year-old kid in that part, but it was kind of along the same lines of like the guy dying in Point Break while they were trying to skydive and escape, but forcing Keanu Reeves to be there the whole time. No.
Wait,
Yeah, kind of. And
Sorry.
before he lets Brody get one last wave at the very end.
I'm just saying, remember the guy got shot during the robbery at the end of the Point Break?
No, I don't think I've seen Point Break.
Oh, you never saw the well, don't see the remake. Whatever.
Oh, I forgot they even made that. Is it worse than the Robocop remake?
Yes.
Oh.
I will say that, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, later, Bone.
I'd say the worst of what I remember was the Total Recall one though.
Oh yeah, that was bad.
Bad.
I mean, I don't really. Yeah, it was bad. I don't really like Colin Farrell that much anyway. I do like Kate Beckinsale, but she's no Sharon Stone circa 1990. But no, dude, the Total Recall remake was so dumb. They didn't even go to Mars. They didn't even go to Mars. They go to the colony. Never specified where it is. It's so stupid. How do you do Total Recall without going to Mars? It's not Total Recall.
What was RoboCop? I mean, what was it 2014? Was that RoboCop?
It was RoboCop as an iPod.
The whole drone thing, the whole fucking Middle East thing.
I mean, that was probably the most interesting thing they added to the movie, but it's there for a minute in the beginning and then they drop it. So it's not even thematically relevant to the movie. I mean, yeah.
They never do anything right, so.
Yeah, dude. No, he looked like RoboCop designed by Apple. And you know, he doesn't get gunned down in the remake. Yeah, he gets like blown up with a car bomb and I mean, we didn't have the personality of Clarence Boddicker, you know. It just
You know what? I don't even remember who the fuck the villain was of the movie.
I don't
Yeah,
either.
I watched it. I
It was
watched
very
it.
forgettable.
I watched it once, and I was like, "It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be, but it's not great." I'm
Yeah,
sure if
and
I
he
watch
could.
it, and I'll be like, "Yeah, this run-of-the-mill bullshit they put out every fucking day now."
Yeah, and RoboCop's heads-up display can like track people through walls and pillars, but he doesn't shoot people behind his head like he
Well,
does in this one.
also that he was self-aware when he when they fucking brought him back as RoboCop. He's
Yeah,
self-aware. Like, eh,
it was dumb.
that's not what made Murphy Murphy. What made
Yeah,
Murphy Murphy was that he didn't know what the fuck was going on when he's brought back online.
right. No, it didn't have the soul of RoboCop. It didn't have the humor of the original RoboCop.
No.
No, it was entirely non-essential.
So what did you think of this one though? Like,
You know, it had some good action. It had some cool ideas in it, but you know, the whole setup wasn't really that interesting. You know, and it does kind of approach the idea of like crony capitalism and corruption a bit, but it doesn't really do it at the level that RoboCop 1 did. And
oh well, wait, you're right. I'm saying like before we even like talk about the rest of what went on. I'm saying like, do you actually like this one?
it there's not enough like growth, you know, like RoboCop doesn't really have an arc like he does in the first one. You know, like he
No,
basically
no. Well, it's also you could see it as like he kind of doesn't need to. We
yeah,
got that forced one in the beginning where he's stalking his wife. We
right.
kind of get a very forced one that we never hear from again within like the first 10 minutes of the movie.
Yeah, because we know she's afraid of him from the first movie, and then you know they're telling him like you know she's better off without you, and telling him to forget about her. But then she immediately shows up at the police station, and she's like,
Yeah, the guy tells RoboCop, "We're bringing a lawsuit against you."
yeah, but she shows up anyway. And she's like, "Can I touch you?" And he's like, "I am not Murphy."
Yeah, and then he plays different from what he was doing before. It was kind of like they're both playing different from what was going on before.
Yeah, like they flipped
That
it.
I didn't get.
They flip it, but then they drop it, and she's never seen again.
Yeah, we never get a fucking callback.
Flip it in reverse.
Yeah, and so then the final scene of the movie, it feels like a lot of the movie was just setting up for that.
Oh, you mean the when OCP has their extravaganza?
Yeah, so that's the very
When
next
they
thing.
have their banners that hey, I don't know what those banners are supposed to look like.
Yeah, it's basically like the Quicken Loans building, like we actually have in Detroit now, that wasn't there when this movie was made. OCP has this, you know, building, this new state of the art building there, and yeah, they put this banner. It's a red banner with a white circle in the middle, and then a black OCP insignia. It looks suspiciously like something we remember from the 40s when we
I
were
don't know
young.
what you're talking about at all, man.
Yeah,
Because
and
that
press is
does
gathered.
not look like any sort of world conqueror type shit at all.
Yeah, even the security guards, they have like a red octagon on their hat that kind of looks like the flag and a little bit like a stop sign. The press is gathered, and the old man gives a presentation. It's very similar to Delta City from the first movie. There's basically they have a model of a new skyline with all these skyscrapers, and he's like, "This is going to be the Detroit of the future," you know.
Oh, well, also the mayor walks in.
Yeah, the mayor who
Mayor who
got
just tried
away.
to who almost got assassinated by Kane.
Yep, but he got away, and now he's here too. And he tells the old man, like, "What? You can't just build all these buildings. There's houses there that people live in." And the old man doesn't care. He's like, "Oh, whatever. We'll just buy him out, or we'll get rid of him somehow." Right? He doesn't care. And there's the flag.
Does that look familiar?
Yeah.
OCP on it.
Yeah, he could have that on his tie or an armband. Yeah, an armband would be very fashionable in a Hugo Boss suit.
You could have some flair.
Yeah. And yeah, so the mayor's there. He's giving him some shit about it. And then he holds up the red canister of the nuke and he says, "This is enough nuke to, I guess ruin the lives of, thousands of families."
The
Or something.
mayor shitting his pants too when Kane gets unveiled, but he can't say right away that the mayor can't say right away that he was trying to get involved in a shady deal.
Well, yeah.
But
So suddenly,
he's just sitting there in the audience shitting his pants.
yeah. So the mayor who just made it back, Kane is already there, and the old man reveals from in the middle of the model of the new skyline. Suddenly, this big robotic body comes up, and we see that it's Kane, and he says, "Behold, Robocop 2." But what the old man seems not to know is that the ladder climber chick,
Just program Kane to go assassinate the fucking mayor.
well, yeah, he did
But
that, and
he got wind of the illegal meeting.
right, he doesn't know that, and he also doesn't know that Kane is desperately addicted to Nuke, which the old man is holding in his hand, and Kane immediately fixes his eyes on it, and he wants it.
Gave him the nuke he was promised for the first hit.
Right.
That's why he bugged out.
She's such a tease.
Yeah, definitely.
She's a Nuke tease.
Yep. If you're not an 80-year-old rich man.
Yeah. So the mayor is like sitting there sweating bullets, crap at his pants because this guy just tried to kill him. And then Robocop shows up with a big ass gun.
Big ass gun.
Yeah.
Was that the Cobra? Was that the Cobra assault rifle from the first one?
Yeah, it probably was. And does Robocop fire the first shot?
Right. Well, first off, when old man is flailing around the fucking nuke, Kane is already awake.
Yeah.
Without the remote being programmed, and he's trying to get the nuke, and corporate whore comes running up saying he's not armed, don't worry about it, and she's fucking with the remote.
Not even armed.
Yeah, and then Kane grabs the remote and crushes it with his neck-breaking claw.
Well, he grabs the remote, hits the red button to arm himself.
Arms himself, and then crushes the remote.
Yeah.
Claw.
Yep.
And then, yeah.
And then it's on.
Here comes chaos.
Yep. And the Robocop walks in with the Cobra assault rifle. And it begins.
And then comes it was like a fucking almost half-hour ending scene crawl between Robocop and Robocop 2.
Yeah. The press freaks out and they start to run. The mayor dives for cover. People in the audience get shot.
Kane murders about 30 people in that
Yeah, he does.
move.
Robocop shoots him with the gun.
We see what would be the total about you. I don't even think you could count because there were some people getting hit in the leg, but there were people getting hit in the back. Like a lot of people got shot in this fucking movie.
As the high body count.
Holy shit!
But this is the climax fight of the movie: Robocop versus Kane.
Inside the building and outside the building.
Right. Now, if Frank Miller really knew how a drug addict thinks, then he would know that Kane would immediately go for that nuke before killing Robocop. That would be his new #1 directive. Get the nuke and then kill
All
RoboCop.
right, yeah, I remember when we were watching this and you said that. He got this shot by RoboCop walking in and shooting him. He got the
Yeah,
shot.
yeah, but the bullets aren't really hurting him.
I know. I'm just saying, like the beef he had with Murphy might.
That's true. That's true.
We saw he does have personal beef because, all right, the girl did say the girl and Hobb knew that if Kane were to come back, he'd kill them. And what'd he do? He killed the both of them.
Yeah, they're right,
So
and he
Kane
did.
did have personal beef.
That's true.
It's kind of similar to Murphy because Murphy had he had personal beef that his memories fucked him up. The first one.
Yeah. And so they fight, and RoboCop can't really hurt Kane even with his big gun.
They have a
And,
pretty awesome fight.
oh yeah, they do. Yeah, they fight through walls and
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 Kane is
floors.
weapon after weapon.
Yeah. Oh yeah, dude. Kane has weapon. He's got a minigun and he's got the
got
shoulder cannon
that extending arm that he blasts RoboCop through the wall.
through the wall. Just punches him through the wall. They end up fighting down. I think they fall through a floor and they're fighting in the pipe works of the building.
Oh, RoboCop draws him to the elevator.
Yep. And and they're on the elevator. RoboCop grabs the cable and he shoots it, snapping the cable, dropping Kane in the elevator down to the bottom of the shaft, while RoboCop rides the cable up to the top. And so this is the second time where I said Kane would definitely decide that he had enough time to go for that nuke. But
I was saying though, he is preoccupied.
I'm just saying, man. I know how addicts think. But
He was preoccupied. Like, all right, but like, what are you gonna do? Deal with the cop first, or get your drugs first? Like, if the cops
Well,
getting
no.
your drugs, and you can
well, no,
kill
the addict will rationalize that they will be able to fight the cop more effectively after they have the nuke.
Also, Kane has shown before that he doesn't care about killing cops. He's killed cops right in front of us when he sliced up.
That's true. So it's more important that he gets the nuke first and then comes back to finish off RoboCop. But that's
saying,
my,
like, all right,
that's just
RoboCop.
my opinion.
All right, Kane could use his crazy ass limbs to climb up the wall,
Which he does.
RoboCop, or he could go like, I don't know, maybe he didn't have access to go get the nuke right now. I'm just saying he was very distracted by RoboCop. Is what I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
RoboCop distracted him from getting the nuke.
Well, so he shows he can climb up the elevator shaft very quickly. So I'm just saying he could have gotten off on the floor where the nuke was thrown and grab the nuke and take it all in and then go back to taking out RoboCop. You know, it wouldn't even take that long. But he goes straight up the elevator shaft very quickly, knocks RoboCop out the roof, and RoboCop grabs onto the edge of the building and he's hanging there.
You're coming with me, Craig. And he does this really slow, like, pull off to take Kane off the building.
Yeah, he gathers up all his strength and he pulls him.
And plummeting through fucking... what did they go through, an overpass? They went through an overpass into the fucking... Or were they in the sewer? They were in the sewer, right?
Yeah, I think so. But Kane's not done yet.
Craig.
And Lewis comes out in like a bomb van. It's like a tank.
Oh, she steals it from the OCP guys.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You see that she kicks one of the dudes in the face because it's the OCP guys.
Yep.
And the cops had it with the OCP people.
Yeah.
OCP,
Finally.
OCP's been bullying the cops for 2 goddamn movies now.
Yep. And yeah, even the old man, you know, he's still there with the other executives, and he tells the black guy with the glasses, what was his name?
I don't remember, but he was Bob Morton's boy from the first one.
Yeah, and he's like he's basically I couldn't hear it real well, but he's basically telling him that, who's responsible for this, that it was her fault, and he's like, well, maybe we need to get like a PR team on it because he's like, this might make OCP look bad in the public eye.
It might make them look bad.
Yeah, this might be
Oh,
bad
well, all right.
press.
Even before that, we're still getting Kane going on a massacre outside. Kane's gunning people down outside. So, all right. When Lewis decides to steal that vehicle and runs him down, runs him into the wall, this bitch comes outside and she's got this worried look on her face. And then Kane wakes up, flips the vehicle open, and then all of a sudden she's got this like, oh, she's got this fucking look on her face, like she's so thankful that. Oh my god, that pissed me off.
What was she thankful for?
That he made it. That Lewis didn't kill him, running him over with the fucking vehicle.
Oh, facts. Yeah. Yep. Just like the surgeon from last week's movie, she was happy that her baby, her project.
That's why
survived.
that movie reminded me of Robocop too.
I think
Which
they came
is
out
why
the
I
same
did-
year.
That's why I did this movie.
They came out
No,
around the
this
same
one is
time.
90. This one's
Yep.
90. Body part is 91.
Okay, yeah, around the same time. Oh, so this predates it. Okay. She's just happy that her boy lived. Her murderous, criminal, and nuke addicted, giant, robotic, heavily armed baby.
Put up for this program for some stupid reason. Oh, that the guy who got shot in the arm in the beginning in the RoboCop 2 prototype videos. That guy was very against her using Nuke, and apparently
yeah.
he's the only one who knew that she was using Nuke. Nobody else knew that she was going to use Nuke to program RoboCop 2.
Yeah, he was okay with putting all of these weapon systems into the RoboCop 2 project, but he drew the line at illegal drugs. So it's kind of like primetime TV. Violence is okay. Unrestricted violence is fine, but you can't show drug use or a woman's nipple. Right. But guns and death, totally fine.
Brain smashing,
Yep.
cutting
Skull.
cops open with a fucking straight razor.
Yep. And cutting somebody's cranium off and throwing the empty skull away. That's fine.
Good
Yeah.
skull. Use it for an ashtray.
Oh.
Sorry.
Taking over the world, it is important to look sharp. Yeah. Yeah, talking about the
Little
Hugo
kid.
Boss suit.
Oh,
Yeah.
I thought he was talking about the little kid because the little kid started wearing suits before he got killed.
Mm-hmm. Probably Hugo Boss. All right. How are we going to defeat Kane? He's unstoppable. What do we do, Slasher?
Yeah,
I don't
you
know.
gotta jump on top of.
Give him drugs.
Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, give him what he wants. That's right.
Give him what he wants.
And Lewis is waving the canister of Nuke in his face.
How did she get it? How did it get all the way down from the auditorium?
I think she ran upstairs and got it. I think that's the nuke that was. I think that's the nuke that was thrown in the boardroom in the original. Remember when the old man had the thing of Nuke? I think Lewis ran upstairs and got it. I think she did.
It is
I
magic.
still think Kane would have ran and got it. But Lewis is the one that went and got it. Robocop says, "Give him what he wants."
And he's targeting on that shit. He loves it.
Oh yeah. He's like his robo mouth is watering. I'm surprised you don't see him like drooling in the 3D animation.
Yeah. That would have been awesome. She throws it up in the air. He catches it.
Yep.
And as he's ingesting the nuke, Robocop's climbing a truck behind him.
Yep. It's funny. He's got a hole just for Nuke.
Oh, he's got the little clamps too. He's got the clamps.
Yep. He's got like a third hand just for Nuke.
Yeah, they get rid like when you don't give it the nuke. Remember, she tried to give him the nuke, and his clamps got very angry.
Because she was teasing him.
She
She was a nuke tease.
He's a nuke tease.
Yep.
The nuke teasing him.
Yeah.
Give him a nuke.
That's why he's so angry. He's been nuke teased for like 30 minutes.
Yeah, he was. Although maybe she didn't give him the nuke because he didn't kill the mayor.
Probably.
Maybe that's why she didn't give him the nuke. Because his specific order was to kill the mayor, right?
Right. Right. And then she had him deactivated when the mayor showed up. Or disarmed, at least. And then when he got rearmed, the mayor hit.
Anyway, she's stupid.
Yeah. So they give Kane the nuke, and he's like, "Oh, yeah."
And then Robocop on his back from the top of a truck.
Yep.
Shooting the top of his head, trying to break open his shell.
Yep. And he reaches in, and he pulls out the brain with the spine. And
Yeah, I know you love this part. I know you were really enjoying this part. I remember that.
Yep, he pulled out the brain and the spine and threw it on the ground, and then somehow the brain is still communicating with the rest of the robo body, and the screen is out. The screen is out, and the face, the robot screen is out, and the face is still there animating. He's like, looking like he's in pain, while the brain and the spine are lying on the ground, and then Robocop shoots it. He smashes
No, he
it.
doesn't shoot it.
He smashes it. Yeah.
First he takes it by. It looks like he has it by the spine and smashes it, and then he smashes it with his forearm.
Yep.
He does a double.
Yeah, he gives it the double smash, and the brains go, and they splatter, and then you see a look of pain on the animated face as it starts to glitch out and disappear.
That's total agony. What he's going through.
Total agony as his brain is destroyed and he's dying. And that's the end of Kane. So at least he died extremely high on Nuke. He went out the way he wanted to.
Yeah, but did he really get to enjoy? That was kind of like a buzzkill for him. Just took it and then he gets killed. That's kind of like a buzzkill, right? Because that would have been the most nuke that Kane has ever taken in his life.
Oh yeah, no, it would if he. I mean, yeah. Honestly, though, yeah, he probably would have OD'd on it if RoboCop had.
Yeah, because every time we see Kane taking nuke in this movie, he's taking it like one little thing at a time.
Yeah, like a little.
Yeah, he's testing it out with his own people. Remember, he's telling the dude what to cut it with.
Yep. Yeah. So this is probably more pure, and it's like a huge canister. So yeah, if he's not like slowing it down, if he's just taking it all at once, he probably would OD. And
how much do you think that one particular thermos full of nuke would have charged Kane for a week?
Oh, dude, I'd probably hundreds of thousands, if not millions. I mean, I don't know how many like doses you'd get because the doses were small, so it'd probably be.
Yeah, the little neck doses were small, and that one is like holy shit.
Huge, yeah.
Knock
Probably
it
not
in half.
more. It's probably not more money than was in the back of that truck, though. We never found out what happened to that money.
How did they get those gold bars?
Yeah, from Jacob the jeweler. And yeah, Chris says, "Put it in the nuke hole."
Ew.
They give it to him right in the nuke hole. But yeah, they smash his brain, and that's the end of Kane.
And
so
yeah,
then,
Papa Cotton.
what's
He
just
was
flavors of
testing
nuke?
out blue velvet. Blue velvet. I forget what the other fucking. Someone was like red something. Really stupid name. But yes, the one he took where my teeth are clenching. Yeah. Oh yeah, that guy who was his fucking his doctor. That dude went suicide. That dude went jihadi. He blew up the lab when they
Oh,
raided it. He blew up the little lab in the fucking in the trailer. You don't remember that?
no, I don't remember that. Was that in the soup kitchen?
It might have
I
been
don't,
the second raid.
I don't remember the trailer.
No, it was the second raid. Yeah, he was hiding out in the trailer. He was his chemist, the one he was telling to change the blue velvet. He was telling him to change the cut of the blue velvet.
I barely remember that. Like I said, there's long stretches of the movie that were kind of forgettable.
Yeah, yeah. The like if you were to walk into this movie, like turn on the TV, whatever the fuck, back in the day, and this movie was on, and you were to walk into Robocop being, look both ways before you cross the street, like
Yeah.
that type of shit. Like, yeah, I could see how that would not make you want to watch this movie.
Yeah. It's all about that final fight.
Yeah, at least the final fight built up. I'd say
Yeah.
that was probably the most satisfying thing in the whole movie. It was
Well,
the
I mean,
build up to the final fight.
well, yeah, dude, it was an all out combat. It had pretty good effects, good stop motion, pretty good green screen.
It's like half an hour long.
Mm-hmm.
Close
The
to
climax.
it. It was close to it.
Yep. So after Kane's dead in the building, the old man is
Oh
about to
yeah,
make.
this whole part.
They're on their way out, and
His cronies are giving him the repercussions of everything that might happen after this whole people getting murdered in the street, and Dickhead is like, "Will this make OCP look bad?" Well, all right. Then all of a sudden, his cronies, who are trying to warn him against corporate hoe, they're, they're, they're planting the seeds to him, like maybe someone who had their own agenda. Because remember, she was also trying to like suggest death row inmates,
oh yeah,
and Armcast guy was very upset about that.
yeah. So she neuters RoboCop, but she wants to get the most hardened killers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So then they give him the idea to turn a blind, to turn his attention and throw her under the bus, rightfully so, actually. But they do it in a real corporate manner. They're like, he's like, I don't think we have anything on her, and fake Kevin Nealon is like, I'm sure we could dig something up.
Yeah. He's a lawyer. He's got
Yeah,
to be like the head of legal.
Of course he could. Of course he could.
Yeah.
So then she comes storming down the steps, acting like she's concerned and hugging the old man.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the old
Acting
man
like
is
innocent.
playing. Oh, I like this though, that the old man is playing along with it. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah.
is it that business, Johnson?" Get right on it.
Get
But
right on it.
she gives this smug look on her face.
Yeah. Like she's gonna get away with it.
Yeah. My only thing about that whole thing is that we didn't get to see what her come was.
What was?
What her if her comeuppance, if we got to see
Oh
it,
yeah.
that would have been awesome.
Yep. And so the old man gets in a limo. And
No, he doesn't even get in the limo. He steps over one of the dead bodies. And
oh yeah. Yeah. There's a woman lying dead in the lobby, and like getting I don't know, like it was like the cops are attending to her. He just steps right over her body out the front door.
holding his hand over his balls like he always does when he walks.
Yeah, he always has his hands clasped together in front of his junk. And yeah, and then he gets in the limo and he drives away.
Well, when he gets in the limo, the media is screaming at him, "Are you going to answer for this?" Blah 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 blah.
Yeah, and he
So
just rolls up the window.
Then we see Lewis and Murphy on the side. Murphy's trying to unscrew his helmet because it's fucked up from the fight he had
Yeah, with a socket wrench.
with Kane. Lewis is like, they're just gonna let him walk away with it. Don't worry, we're only human.
Yeah.
And then
The
that's
end.
the movie.
That's the end. So the old man gets away again.
Too many people got away. Listen,
Yeah.
that woman, we deserve to see her come up and on screen.
Oh yeah.
I think we should have got to see her come up and on screen, not just implied.
Yeah, she should have been like crushed by giant balls, or
And the old man too. The old man didn't
yeah,
make RoboCop 3.
he
The old man didn't make it to RoboCop 3.
yeah, or he should have gotten like I don't know, bazooka in the Johnson,
Something.
or yeah, some kind of symbolic death. She could have been impaled, by like a giant phallic sharp object. You know what I mean? Or falling off a ladder. She could fall off a ladder.
This is one of those movies you watch where you kind of feel robbed of something when you watch it.
It's like being promised Nuke and then not getting it.
Yeah, exactly. Or it's like being a corrupt cop and being a nuke head and getting sliced open with a straight razor. That's kind of what it's like, bro.
Yep. Or like setting up a sequel that nobody comes back for. Except Lewis.
No, she wasn't the only one. There was a couple other people.
Who else is there?
The OCP dude, Casey Wong, he came back. Newscaster Casey Wong.
All right. Minor characters.
The Red Tide dude from OCP, he came back for part 3.
Okay. Mm-hmm. But it didn't save the third movie.
I don't know, man. I don't know what to think of this one. What do you think of this one, man?
I mean, it has good pieces in it. It has some cool. It has some cool elements, but I mean, what's the best thing you're gonna get out of it? If there's a action figure of RoboCop 2, with Kane and all the attachments,
There definitely were. I'll tell you, there definitely were.
Yeah, but like Murphy doesn't go through the whole process of losing and reclaiming his humanity like he does in the first one. I mean, I think they tried to imply it, right? Because early on, he's like, "You're not, are you Murphy? No, you're a machine." And then at the end, he says to Lewis, "We're only human," as he takes the socket wrench to his head.
Yeah, that's what the whole buildup of that was.
Yeah, and so I didn't even notice that connection, because it's so light. It's barely there, and it's there to bookend it, but it's not really there.
This movie's kind of hitting you over the head with different things at different points.
Mm-hmm.
I think this one is more off the rails than the first one.
I mean, if drugs are bad, then kids are bad, according to this movie, right? Because all the kids are criminals. Everyone's bad.
I'd say this one is way more mean spirited, and
Yeah, it's more cynical without the satire.
yeah, doesn't have the heart of the first one. Because even in the first one, the horrible moments, you still have redemption.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. I mean, the first one, it was violent, it was bloody, it was dark, but yeah, like you said, it had heart, it had humanity, and it had humor, and there was redemption, and there was hope for the future. This one didn't really have hope either. You
I
know
mean, I
what?
guess the whole basis of this one was just to get a RoboCop 2 in there for him to fight. That's probably just what the whole thing was about.
Yeah,
As
but I
opposed
mean, even the
as
nuke.
continuing the story of Murphy himself.
Yeah, but like Nuke didn't even get wiped out. Like there will still
Yeah.
be people
Oh,
who,
yeah.
dealers who have it,
Exactly.
and people who know how to cook it. And
Kane
so
had a
Nuke,
lot of people working for him, right?
yeah, yeah. There are other labs, right? There are other chemists. There are other
Exactly.
dealers.
Yeah.
Like Nuke will live on.
Kane couldn't have been the only person, of course.
And yeah, and the old man got away. In fact, all those corporate executives got away.
Also, the elimination of Nuke is going to create more angry people in the streets, and they're going to be reacting more violently because they can't get their Nuke, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All
So
right, now we're going into the social deconstruction of the RoboCop world.
So the big triumph was just that he killed Kane.
Of him destroying his brain, you mean? Not when he tackled him through the windshield. He should have just killed. He should have had his spike out when he went through the window. Try to Wolverine that motherfucker right in his face. Then again,
Papa has a good question.
the movie would have only been like 45 minutes though.
Yeah. Papa has a good question. I wonder what happens if you take all the different flavors of Nuke at the same time.
I think I'm
Rainbow
saying
Nuke.
ones. They said purple something stupid, orange something stupid.
Taste the rainbow.
Hey, no Skittles.
Hey, I brought it full circle.
So, did you like this one, Darius?
It was okay. I mean, obviously I'm a fan of the first one. This one was it was kind of a fun romp at times. It was kind of slow at other times, but it wasn't really like meaningful. You know what I mean? Like I don't really get anything out of it that I can take with me in life. I know it might. I mean, the first one I did. You get something out of the first one. You get an examination of like humanity and technology and what must survive in an age of like technology and corporations, because I would say that RoboCop is a cyberpunk story. I mean, not only do you have a cyborg as the main character, but the villain is essentially a big corporation that's above the law. And so what is essential humanity, right? Because even Murphy is like barely human anymore, right? He's got like his head and his brain. Even his brain is programmed.
Cog in the system.
Right. Yeah, even his organic brain is like programmed like a computer, right? But something essential and human survives in him, and it's only by reclaiming that he becomes himself again, and that he's able to survive. And so in a time of huge corporations and transhuman technology, what is essentially human that must survive, right? And that's missing from this movie. It's basically RoboCop is back. He goes through some rough times again. He gets taken apart again, put back together. His humanity gets denied and then reaffirmed. And drugs are bad. There's a big fight. It's kind of
Drugs are
cool.
definitely bad in this movie.
Yeah.
Drugs are bad.
But kids are worse than drugs in this movie. Yeah.
There were drugs in the first. There were really like all the drugs that were in the first one. That one really wasn't like drugs are bad. They were like, hey, there's a lot worse things going on than drugs because we got murders and robberies, cops getting killed. Like, there's a lot. The very first one was more like, hey, just the streets in general are shit.
Right. Well, yeah, and the first one was more about the law
Yeah,
and about
yeah,
corruption because it
yeah.
was,
Opposed to
sort of
a
adapted from
opposed to a PSA message.
yeah, well, it was adapted from a Judge Dredd idea. So the law was a major theme of it, right? And so RoboCop is basically, when he's still thinking like a computer, he's upholding the law, right? But he does it literally like a machine would. And so, but the way corruption works is in a more organic way, right? And so when he's capturing Clarence Boddicker and he's like, I'm protected. That means nothing to RoboCop, right? He just takes him in anyway. And so it's not just an examination of humanity, it's an examination of like the law and of corruption. And
Well,
that's
we
not really in this one either.
we also see in RoboCop 1 though that RoboCop hid like he didn't provide the confession of Clarence Boddicker
No.
that Dick Jones was working. He just went right to Dick Jones after he brought Clarence Boddicker in. So he does have humanity in him to keep. I mean, at least in the first one. This one was weird. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really notice. See, a lot of these themes I'm talking about now, I didn't really notice while watching the movie, right? It's only by looking back at it that it feels like it was trying to imitate some of the themes and points of the first movie, but it does it so so
I,
weakly.
I don't know. I don't know. I think I've liked this movie, but not loved it. I'd say I might like it.
It doesn't like I don't really need to watch it again until I
Uh,
inevitably forget it. I feel like I've already forgotten like half of this movie and I just watched it, Now I see why I forgot. I'd seen it like 25 years ago. Now I see why I forgot it because it's forgettable.
so what would be your rating? How do
Uh
you rate it? A's or numbers?
it's okay. I always say that I enjoy a movie most in the theater. This is the kind of movie where if I saw it in the theater, I would enjoy it, and then later on, I would realize that it wasn't very good.
Um,
Uh,
I could definitely see that.
it's I get. I don't know. I don't want to. I don't want to be tricked by like some of the more fun elements or the fact that it's like RoboCop. I mean, I feel like I should give it a 5
Out of 10?
out of 10. Yeah, like a 5 out of 10. I mean, we've watched worse, but we've watched better.
Oh, I've watched way worse than this movie.
Well, yeah, we've watched worse together. Like
Not
Basket
even
Case is
yeah,
still
but
the low
not even.
bar for me.
That's on my list of top shit that we've watched, like actual shit. But
I mean, the stuff was.
no, this stuff was good, man.
I
Stuff
think the
was
stuff
good.
was better than this.
I think this stuff had no business being as good as it was based off the premise.
Right.
That
Like,
premise was so stupid, but the movie was actually good.
yeah, I would watch the
I
stuff
thought
again
anyway.
before I watch this again.
That's what I was saying. Like when I put bad movie on these labels, I'm just like I'm saying it's subjective because sometimes I walk out of these movies like, oh, I wouldn't say that about I don't think I'd say that about this one though.
I feel like there's something that's telling me that I should think this movie is better than what I feel like it actually is. I don't know if it's because it's RoboCop or it's more well known, it's more in
I
our public consciousness.
I would say it was cool as like a VHS rental, like for one day back in 90 or 91, whatever it came out on VHS.
Yeah,
'Cause they
it's
used to
just
take a
not
while. It
essential.
used to take a while for it to come out on VHS.
Yeah,
But
it's not a hidden gem.
watch the first one. Is
Yeah.
what I would say. Carol,
Yes. Can I help you?
yes, you could help me understand.
I just love intelligent women. Smart is so sexy.
I had technical issues. I couldn't really watch the movie. It was all glitchy, blah blah. So I'm gonna give it a 3.
That's your computer telling you, bitches, leave.
Bitch, get the hell out.
A 3. You know.
Well, because I don't know if I even watched the movie.
I don't either. Maybe a 5 is high. I was thinking it was low. It might be high.
I don't
I'm
know.
sticking with it. 3.
Well,
now.
you stick with it then.
I will.
Okay.
3. I accept your 3.
Thank you.
I'm gonna say it later, everybody. Pop Cotton, TWTG, Gone.
Did you give your rating? Did you give it a number?
I will give my rating while I'm going through my chat.
You okay?
I would say Jesus Christ, I can't even really think.
I know. It's something
I'd
about
say
it.
like, all right, not thumbs completely up, kind of a little bit sideways up. Not Siskel and Ebert up, more like Bob Dole thumb up. I'm sorry if I made a joke there. No one's gonna get Vigilante. Oh, Darius, you were here?
Yeah.
Look it up.
Sorry,
huh?
Vigilante. I know he said don't besmirch the name of the Detroit
Yeah.
legend RoboCop, but
Thank you, Manticore. Thank you again for hanging out, man. By the way, Manticore, I've been saying, anyone wants to come through for a movie, hey, hit me up on Twitter and let me know when you want to come through watching the movie. I'll just call you Games because I know you Games. And
I have to ask my girlfriend if those are real dinosaurs.
who's in here again?
They are real dinosaurs. What are you talking
Coloradosaurus.
Oh, wait. Yes, that's right. Since
Is Fester
Cal,
going to join us when we watch Special Dead?
Fester could ask me on Twitter. He's probably not here right now in the chat, so
I'm just curious.
I'm not
What?
asking anymore. I have the people right here that are already said they're gonna be down to do this. So
Oh no, I'm just asking if. I'm just not sure. Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking
no,
about. I missed it.
Check out Artifice Reanimate. Manticore was here. Hey, I'm Darius Nuke Chugger. And well, lately this is the main thing that I do. You all know me. You see me around all over the place. I like to support people, and I'll support you. Anybody left, And yes, I am working on new content, new formats, and I hope you like them. Coming soon to a YouTube near you.
soon.
Soon. Your move, creep.
And here we get Rocky standing over the apocalypse.
I don't really know what's going on.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
I,
smoked
haven't,
too much.
I haven't decided what movie I'm going to do next week, but I have a list. Later, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Good night, everyone.